Hey, Peter.
Stop! Red light!
Tonight, in a unique experiment, we challenge the driving habits of two of Britain's worst motorists. Jason.
Get over, you...
And Laura.
Where's my phone?
Using state-of-the-art technology created exclusively for this experiment, we aim to help them change their ways as they come face-to-face with their own dangerous driving.
That's pretty bad.
I'm lost for words.
This is Crash Course. Happily, our cars and our roads are safer than they've ever been. Today, cars are 4 times safer than they were just 15 years ago. They're better designed, better regulated, more rigorously tested, and bristling with advanced safety technology. And the UK's roads themselves are 25% safer than 5 years ago, as a result of better signage, better surfaces, and redesigned junctions.
We have one of the safest roads systems in the whole world, where the UK has been in the top 3 for the last sort of 10 years.
And road casualties are dropping every year. But in spite of that, too many of us are still being hurt or killed in cars. Today, almost 400 accidents will have been reported in the UK. 64 people will have been seriously injured, and 5 people will have died. And in over 90% of accidents, there's just one person to blame: a bad driver.
I'm afraid if you look at all the police records, all the research, it's people who cause crashes. It's mistakes, it's errors, it's not looking is the top actual cause of most crashes.
So, what can be done? Well, shock tactic campaigns have had a lot of success right around the world, like this online ad showing the dangers of applying makeup at the wheel. But could the shock of actually experiencing a crash and seeing the results also have a positive effect on people's driving? Well, tonight, that's what we want to find out. Our first dangerous driver is Jason.
Shit. What are you doing? Huh? Dickhead. I'm Jason Redshaw and I live in sunny Blackpool. I run a small chain of little businesses. We have a fancy dress shop. We hire out costumes. We've amassed a great collection. Yeah, it's not weighty, but it depends how you work with it, yeah? And we hire out props.
Right now, Jason drives a BMW Z3 sports car.
Well, put your seatbelt on, lad.
He was nominated by David, his business partner of 14 years.
I nominated Jason to be on the show because of his driving habits. He tends to be a little bit erratic behind the wheel.
Fabulous.
Jason knows he does some things on the road that he shouldn't, and has agreed to take part at David's request and go for what he believes is some expert tuition.
Oh, God, nobody will let me out. Oh, God, I'm going. I've had 1 or 2, 3 or 4 cars that have met an untimely end.
One went into a lamppost, one went into the back of a taxi, one went into a wall.
I do think I've been lucky. I really do in the car. There's probably been a couple of instances where I'd probably come close to even losing my own life. I've been caught for speeding twice. I'll be honest, I've speeded many, many, many times, I'll happily admit.
What's your speed?
Well, I'm doing 40.
It's only 30 down here.
30 mile an hour?
Yeah.
Well, where's the signs? Whenever I've had a brand new car, I've always gone down onto the M55. You can open a car and really push it and see what you can get out of her. It's a thrill, it's exciting. Yes, it's dangerous. I think I did 125 and then the dashboard started to vibrate, so it was a case of, okay, calm down, rein it in.
He tends to not slow down at roundabouts. We shouldn't do that round the roundabouts. It's not a bloody racetrack.
Oh, shut up. 30 mile an hour. There you go. I do get quite aggressive whilst driving. Get over, you dickhead. What are you doing? Huh? Oh, how bloody close do you want to get? What are you doing? You're looking off the red.
Many of Jason's friends refuse to travel with him, and the rest, like friend Philip, don't enjoy it.
Don't look at the gear stick when you're driving.
I know how to drive, Philip.
I've had a heart attack here. What's his carrying?
Well, why is he sticking his nose out?
He doesn't look at what's going on, he doesn't concentrate, he doesn't look at the corners, and he just doesn't care. Watch that cyclist.
I can see him, I can see him.
There's a car stopping here. Jesus Christ.
Most dangerously of all, Jason shoots red lights.
Like,
He shot a light yesterday.
Stop! Red light! You are?
The lights are on red. The lights are on red. The lights are on red.
It was on amber.
wasn't it on red?
It was on amber, David.
It was definitely red.
The lights were on red and had actually changed from green a full 6 seconds before Jason reached the junction.
Too preoccupied looking round.
David can't take any more of Jason's bad driving and nominated him for crash course as a last resort.
I don't think he realises how dangerous a vehicle is. I tend to get a little bit anxious if he's out in the car.
I've done theory tests, driving tests, speed awareness tests. I'm not sure what else there is to do that would make me curtail my driving.
Scary.
90% of us believe that we are above average drivers, which is of course impossible. Like Jason though, 85% of us admit to acting aggressively in our cars.
What are you doing? Huh?
Tailgating, cutting up, and screaming at other drivers.
Fucking hell!
So why do we act like this?
Anonymity plays a big role. You feel secluded within your vehicle, other people you can't necessarily see within their vehicle, so it might mean that even the most mild-mannered individual on the road would have the propensity to let anger boil over into some sort of aggression.
And when it's our territory that's being threatened, the anger gets very personal indeed.
Many people take territoriality into their car. So although they're on a public road, their car is part of their territory. Therefore, any threats, any perceived aggressive driving towards them might be taken more seriously.
So is it possible to spot a potentially territorial and aggressive driver before things get nasty?
People who tend to have greater territoriality within their vehicles will often adorn their vehicles. So in America, there's been a study to show that bumper stickers, for instance, correlate with instances of road rage. Similarly, ornaments in cars, spoilers, personalised plates. These are the sort of things that mark out someone as having greater territoriality in relation to their car, and which might mean that they are more prone to road rage.
The likeliest road rage culprits are men aged between 35 and 50 and driving blue BMWs, a demographic Jason fits into perfectly.
What are you doing?
By and large, on the whole, aggressive people out there on the road are typically aggressive in life.
In fact, Great Britain is home to some of the angriest drivers in the whole world, with a third of us experiencing an aggressive road rage incident every single week.
Cars certainly level the playing field in terms of, let's say, physical discrepancies between potential protagonists. When you're in the car, you might feel that you are cushioned from the social consequences of any actions that you do. And then it turns out that actually this chap's rather a big chap, so that anonymity can break down very quickly.
For the majority of us, road rage means a bit of swearing and some creative sign language. But if you do come up against an aggressive and angry driver, the solution is simple. Be polite, apologise, and get out of their way. Then you won't be involved when it all goes wrong for them.
What are you doing? Huh, dickhead?
After seeing Jason's aggressive driving on public roads,
Walking off the road.
we took him to our private road network in Suffolk. He thinks he's simply here for a day's intensive tuition with advanced driving instructor Ian Palmer.
So as I say, I really want you to start thinking about your safety. That's the most important thing, isn't it?
It is.
He's unaware he'll be involved in a crash. And with Ian alongside him, Jason's on best behaviour.
I tell you what, doing really well with this car.
He shows that beneath the aggression, there's actually a considerate and competent driver.
Do you know why I think you're doing really well?
Because I'm probably more concentrating on the car because
Yes.
there's less distractions.
Good. And you're using both hands.
Yes. Yes.
Even David, who's come to watch, is surprised.
He never pulls away from the lights that slowly.
But how will Jason cope when he comes face to face with his own dangerous driving?
Look out!